This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. Israel is promising retaliation tonight, while the Islamic radicals of Hamas are promising more terror. Today's was the bloodiest attack yet in the current wave of Middle East violence. A bomb destroyed a bus in Tel Aviv. Scores of people were killed or wounded. Correspondent Tom Fenton has the story and the pictures. We caution you, it was a gruesome scene.
These are the pictures of a lively Tel Aviv shopping street turned into an urban valley of death. 1 minute this man was the driver. 1 minute they were rush hour commuters. And the next, victims of terror sprawled amidst the remains of the bus, buildings, and bodies. The miracle was that any survived at all.
And I sat down and I wept, and I was full of blood.
The numbers: initially 22 dead, at least 46 wounded, one bomb, one suicide bomber from the radical Palestinian group Hamas. Today's carnage a fulfillment of their promise to continue their campaign of terror by any means, anything to deny peace a chance. Even in this war-hardened country, rescue workers were overcome with emotion, and the usually calm president consumed with anger.
We'll have to find out where are the roots of the evil and cut them and chop them to pieces.
As the Israelis pick up the pieces after this latest outrage, the question is whether they can hold together the fragile national coalition for peace with Arafat and the Palestinians. Opinions in this country have always been sharply divided, now more than ever. On the heels of emergency workers, the leader of the Israeli opposition rushed to the scene to blast Prime Minister Rabin's peace policies.
He chose Arafat over the security of the people of Israel.
Kill the Arabs, some of the gathered crowd chanted, but others had had enough of that for one day.
We have to go on. We have no choice but to live together.
This afternoon, Israel's Burial Society picked up the last physical remains of the innocent from the blood-stained street. But the psychological scars left by today's attack won't be so easily erased. Tom Fenton, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
This was the third major attack in 11 days launched by Hamas against the peace process. Our veteran Middle East correspondent Bob Simon is here with us tonight to put it in context. Bob?
Last week, Israelis mourned the death of a soldier murdered by Hamas. That was overtaken by euphoria over the budding peace with Jordan. Now this disaster. Israelis feel like they're on a roller coaster, and they're getting tired of the ride.
Call it Main Street, call it Broadway, but whatever you call it, understand that Dizengoff, this tree-lined, cafe-studded avenue, is the heart of Israel. No Arab army, no Arab bomb even got close to it during Israel's 5 wars. And today's blast underscored the one axiom of life in the Middle East. When peace is in the air, there will be terror on the ground. It almost escaped notice today that while those bodies were still being collected, those peace talks were still going on in Cairo. The logic of this situation is clear. The bombers want war, so you defeat them by making peace. Israel's foreign minister said it again today.
As we are determined to fight against the terror, so we're determined to continue with the peace process.
That's the logic, but that's not the emotion. Israelis want to strike back. They need to strike back. The pressure on Rabin to do something may well prove irresistible. But what to do? Hamas was born and nurtured in the fetid slums of Gaza. Gaza's now controlled by the PLO. Do the Israelis go back in? That could strain the peace process beyond endurance. Ultimately, the only people who can defeat Hamas are the people of Gaza. People who want jobs and homes and security, all those things which Hamas cannot offer. The Israelis might decide to exact some revenge sometime soon, but there really is no military option. All there is the prospect of peace, fragile and precarious, and next week Israelis will celebrate peace with Jordan while they continue to mourn their dead.
Thanks God, even in the Middle East, tomorrow is another day.
And tomorrow might go down as the day that Israel and the PLO join hands to fight their common enemy, Hamas. Dan?
Thanks, Bob. Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News. The rain stops, but floodwaters are still rising in heavily populated southeastern Texas.
And Eye on America. Tonight, a new book and an explosive theory about race and intelligence.
Ricola, natural herb cough drops. A pleasant-tasting blend of organically grown herbs and other natural ingredients from Switzerland.
My brother's a no-nonsense guy, and his head's got to ache pretty bad for him to admit it. But when the pain lasts longer than Tylenol, and you've tried the Advil, you say, I give, and see what your doctor recommends.
Introducing Aleve, a non-prescription strength of Anaprox, a fast-acting form of the medicine in naproxen. Only Aleve has 8 to 12-hour dosing. It lasts longer than extra-strength Tylenol. Advil isn't stronger. New Aleve.
As tough as he is, he's still my little brother.
New Aleve. All day strong, all day long.
What do people think of these Sunsweet orange and lemon essence pitted prunes?
I love lemons. Do they smell like oranges? I like these a lot. Orange essence excites me. Lemon flavored prunes? They're wonderful. These are really good. What did Barbara Mandrell think?
Actually, I love them both.
The judge in the O.J. Simpson trial hinted today that the jury, once selected, will be sequestered. In the meantime, he's asking the media to help shield prospective jurors from publicity about the book that's becoming an issue in the case. Bill Whitaker has our report.
We're going to get back to the jury. Get back to the jury.
With jury selection on hold, attorneys came to court today for a private meeting with Judge Lance Ito to figure out what to do about this controversial new book by Nicole Simpson's friend, Faye Resnick. In the book, Resnick makes the explosive claim that O.J. threatened to kill Nicole.
I think it's very prejudicial. It's all hearsay. No one knows if any of these statements were ever made.
Judge Ito is so concerned he took the extraordinary move of dashing off this letter to CBS News and other broadcasters last night, asking them to delay airing interviews with Resnick, writing, "The interview of Ms. Resnick, no matter what its content, will serve only to fan the already raging fires of adverse publicity and further jeopardize the party's right to a fair trial." CNN has decided to delay its interview until the jury is seated. CBS News has decided to air Connie Chung's interview tomorrow on Eye to Eye. CBS News President Eric Ober responding, "The contents of the book have been widely publicized. We believe that broadcasting Ms. Chung's interview with Ms. Resnick is fully consistent with responsible journalism." Because of the book, all parties are arguing whether to sequester the jury. Judge Ito and the prosecution want to. The defense doesn't.
Everybody's been tainted. Everybody's been tainted already. So if you lock them up, that's not fair. Why should the jurors be punished?
This is nothing different. Another event has occurred. I'm sure more events will occur in the future, and that's why we want the jury sequestered.
While attorneys debate what to do, O.J. Simpson already is taking action. CBS News has learned that Simpson is calling friends from jail, urging them to speak out against Resnick's book. Other friends are speaking out on their own.
Well, if she was the friend, the intimate friend that she said she was, who could write all this trash about the relationship or even her own friend? I mean, there's some very trashy parts in this book about Nicole, and none of us believe any of that.
Now, late today, Judge Ito started considering a defense motion to delay the trial for a year until the media furor dies down. Right now, they are in recess. Connie?
Bill Whitaker in Los Angeles, thank you.
Could you be a possible victim of crime even without knowing it? The federal government is looking into the operations of this country's second largest stock market, in which millions of Americans have invested a lot of money. Economics correspondent Ray Brady has the NASDAQ story, over the counter and under investigation.
NASDAQ, the computer trading system. Its brokers trade nearly half of all shares of stock, and some are under investigation by the Justice Department. It was confirmed today. The allegation? Price fixing.
It's about time, because for so long now, the public has been forced to pay a much higher price or receive, if they're a seller, a much lower price than the true market would dictate.
NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
NASDAQ has been aggressively marketing itself with great success. Take mutual funds. Of their $631 billion in stock holdings, more than $99 billion is in NASDAQ stocks, roughly 1 out of 6 investment dollars. And that doesn't include holdings by pension funds and other institutions. But there have been warnings. Beware.
The counsel I would give small investors is that no, they have not been disadvantaged in any way. The NASDAQ market provides fair prices.
But that's not what Ohio State professor Paul Schultz found in his study of the prices of 100 NASDAQ stocks.
It appeared that these dealers had an understanding or an implicit agreement that not all the price quotes were to be used, and that the end result was the public trades or pays more to trade these NASDAQ stocks.
Already 24 class action suits have been filed against NASDAQ brokers, and even taken together with the Justice Department probe. So far, there's been no conclusive proof of wrongdoing. Ray Brady, CBS News, New York.
So, Ray, what do you think?
Well, they would never make my training table.
Why?
Because my guys would say to me, hey, Ray, I don't eat just plain flakes, you know what I'm saying? They would not go for it. It would have to be something really great. They're pretty good.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're simple, but crispy and all.
Yeah, it should be. It's Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Taste them again for the first time.
You're gonna love them. Because I said so.
You've got a headache and can't sleep. You would take a nighttime medicine, but you're worried. Why? This gently helps you to sleep, and it's aspirin-free. Aspirin-free Excedrin PM. The PM medicine for headaches from Excedrin.
My doctor said I didn't need surgery for my hemorrhoids. They weren't serious, and to use Preparation H.
Preparation H helps shrink swelling and often relieves itching, irritation, and painful burning of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissues for hours. Trust doctor-recommended Preparation H.
We just weren't hungry, dear. Well, I'll make cappuccino.
Cappuccino? They don't have a rug, but they have a cappuccino machine. Honey, what's going on? Maxwell House Cappuccino. Delicious.
I'll help with the dishes. Oh, that's okay. We have a dishwasher, too.
Maxwell House Cappuccino. The magic without the machine.
America may be ready to fight, but are we ready for Americans to die? Years ago we were. What's changed?
Every time we turn around, we're bailing somebody out, and we start a war.
Are Americans willing to pay the price of war? Eye on America tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Mather and Connie Chung.
After days of non-stop rain, the sun came out today in southeastern Texas, and some people were able to get to work cleaning up the damage done by the ferocious floodwaters. But as correspondent Diana Gonzalez reports tonight from Houston, the danger is far from over.
The waters continue to rise around some parts of Houston, even though the rain has finally stopped. The death toll confirmed at 9, 3 missing. Rescue crews in helicopters and boats are still struggling to get people and their pets out of tough spots.
And I'm really worried about that current.
While floodwaters moved downstream, submerging new neighborhoods today, some areas upstream began to see the first signs of recovery. North of Houston, the San Jacinto River has receded, but obviously not enough. Thousands of residents are still unable to go back inside their homes. Water in the River Plantation community is down about 4 feet.
I'm hoping that the water is confined just to the first floor.
Charles Reinhardt decided to wade home. He didn't get very far.
The current is stronger than I thought.
Further down this new suburban canal, another determined neighbor. Curtis Smith has been holed up on the second floor of his house for 3 days, shrugging off the dangers.
But you don't have any power? You don't have any way to get out in an emergency or anything?
What emergency? I'm in the emergency.
An emergency of record proportion, the worst flooding this area has seen in 100 years. Diana Gonzalez, CBS News, Houston.
The floods coincide with a hot and tight race for Texas governor. Even before the rains came, the political mudslinging was well underway. Incumbent Democrat Ann Richards is well liked. So why does she have to beat the Bushes to win re-election? Correspondent Linda Douglas is keeping score.
In Texas, they love a good game, on the field and off.
Right now, one that's too close to call is the race for governor. Sometimes the incumbent, Ann Richards, rips into her opponent.
In this case, my friends, my opponent has no qualifications whatsoever.
Other times, she lays on the charm.
Johnny, the cutest thing.
Most Texans like Richards, yet they may vote against her and for her opponent, a political novice with a famous father.
I have let people in Texas know that there's another George Bush in this state.
Good to see you. George W. Bush calls himself a conservative. These days, that's a badge of honor in this state. The campaign for governor takes place at a time when the political winds in Texas are shifting. For the first time, Republicans outnumber Democrats here. Perhaps the most unpopular Democrat here is President Clinton. Bush often links Richards to the president, and that seems to strike a chord with Texas voters.
There's a lot of distrust with Clinton in this state.
The current governor will work hard to get him reelected in 1996, and this governor will not.
And Bush has pounded Richards with a multi-million-dollar ad campaign aimed at voters' fears.
Violent juvenile crime is up 52%, yet Ann Richards has done little about it.
Texas can't wait any longer.
Actually, crime has gone down on Richards' watch. At campaign events, she's seen surrounded by sheriffs and giving prisoners a tongue lashing.
It's absurd for y'all to be in here. You're not stupid, you know.
Still, polls show Texans want something different. But Richards says that doesn't mean they no longer want her. How would you describe the mood of voters in Texas right now?
When they're around me, it's great.
Maybe, but this year, popularity may not be enough to ward off the winds of change that are blowing across Texas. Linda Douglas, CBS News, Nacogdoches, Texas.
And coming up next, Eye on America. Tonight, is there a connection between a person's race and intelligence?
There are moments when a champion becomes something even bigger, better. And for Wheaties, that moment is now. The breakfast of champions tastes better than ever. It's a better toasted wheat taste. A bigger crunch. The new taste of Wheaties. The breakfast of champions just got better.
Becoming a responsible adult is one of the most important lessons a college student can learn. That's why Anheuser-Busch is proud to help sponsor National Collegiate Alcohol Awareness Week's 11th anniversary on over 3,000 campuses nationwide. Based on the belief that education is the best approach to preventing alcohol abuse and underage drinking, this program helps students to help themselves in making the right choices. Anheuser-Busch salutes everyone taking part in this worthy program that's making a difference.
What am I doing here with you?
You're my brother. It's your genetic obligation to help me.
Right. So, the Grand Am has a 150 horsepower engine, standard.
Oh, it is a blast to drive, and the balance shaft makes it smooth as silk.
Standard airbag and anti-lock brakes. Exactly.
You know the Grand Am costs thousands less than the Accord or the Camry?
Really?
Yep, I researched it.
Well, you've made a smart choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what am I doing here?
You're helping me pick out a color.
Color. Yeah.
There's a new kind of Tylenol for tough pain. It can last all day, but won't irritate your stomach for even a second. It's called Tylenol Extended Relief. And it's the only long-lasting pain reliever that won't irritate your stomach. Tylenol Extended Relief.
My sister wonders why she still has gas after taking her Tums. Hello? Tums don't work on pressure and bloating. My Lanta Gas Relief does. My Lanta Gas has the best and only medicine for gas relief. Think she heard me?
If you want to know what's good for you,
what can we eat anymore?
Find out. Eating to Live Thinner and Longer. An all-new 48 Hours tonight.
No one would argue there's an economic gap in this country between whites and blacks. But there's a great deal of argument about an explosive, some call it outrageous, new book that attempts to explain the gap. And some charge justify it. The theory, which many people consider to be outright racist, is that whites are, on average, more intelligent than blacks. Wyatt Andrews investigates the controversy over the bell curve in tonight's Eye on America.
It is not logical, it is not biological, it's racist and it's wrong and should not be dignified.
Maybe, but this book cannot be ignored. A new book on race and IQ. It's there on the cover of magazines. The book flies out of stores in Washington.
We had them in stock and then they were gone.
The book's co-author, Charles Murray, knows he has created a storm.
We're dealing with very explosive stuff here.
On the surface, Murray's book claims to be a scientific look at what ails America. The book says America is divided, not by race or class, but by brains. An elite of smart people with IQs above 120 holds the country's best jobs and makes the most money. While at the other extreme, an underclass with low IQs grows poor, supplies the prisons, and waits for welfare. Murray would not grant CBS News an interview for this story, but he did appear on public television.
I'm sorry, IQ is a very important predictor, not just of academic success, but of economic success.
Pretty tame so far, but here's what gets Murray in trouble.
There's about a 15-point difference between blacks and whites.
He calls it America's dirty little secret. Black people can be brilliant, he says, but on average, Asians are smarter than whites, and whites are smarter than blacks, based on IQ test. It's science, he says. The book also asserts that IQ is largely inherited, and that's where the debate goes nuclear.
This book is a very deceptive book.
Writer Mickey Kaus.
It starts off trying to prove that the difference between the races is genetic. It can't prove that because the evidence is all that it's mostly the environment.
What the bell curve suggests is that blacks are disproportionately poor and on welfare because of the brains they were born with, not the conditions they were born into. Critics say this is politics, not science. If you follow the reasoning of this book, if success or failure in America are already inside our genetics, then that must mean most government attempts to lift up the academically disadvantaged, affirmative action, for example, or Head Start, are already doomed to fail.
It becomes a rationale to say we cannot invest in urban America, in Head Start and daycare. It's a waste of money.
Look at this name.
That's exactly what Murray argues. While he likes some preschool programs, of Head Start, Murray writes, the effects are small. They hardly justify investing billions of dollars.
There are things we can do.
David Weichert, who has studied Head Start for 30 years, says true, Head Start does not raise IQ, but it is a government program that changes lives.
They get jobs more often. They are paid more. It is not the IQ or even school achievement that matters. It's the role that the participant later plays in adult life.
Beyond race or politics, though, Murray is challenging our notions of equality.
Would you like a chocolate?
We all want to believe that a Forrest Gump can achieve greatness, that the dull can rise. We don't want to hear that there is an IQ underworld where poverty is destiny.
Stupid is, stupid does, Miss Blue.
And that's what makes the bell curve, either a courageous statistical look at inequality or racism and elitism cloaked in a fig leaf of science. In Washington, Wyatt Andrews for Eye on America.
Word tonight from Los Angeles, the comedian and singer Martha Raye has died. Over the decades, she's often gone overseas to entertain U.S. troops from World War II to Vietnam. She had been in poor health for several years. Martha Raye was 78.
It's my business to help keep people safe, but it's more than just my job. I'm a father. I have a family. You know, the government says that a car with 2 airbags has to help protect 2 passengers. But on the DeVille, we also cared about the child who sits in the middle. There's a company that goes beyond the federal standards to help protect all 3 front seat passengers. My company, Cadillac. And you watch, the airbag system in the new DeVille may help save someone very close to you.
California prunes are perfect for lunch. They taste great, they're easy to carry, and they're always in season. So you never run out of them.
Sweet, delicious California prunes. Find out how good they really are.
So at Jenny's school play, I get this cough. Somebody handed me these Robitussin cough drops. They worked right away, and I could feel those vapors. Robitussin took the spotlight off me and put it where it belonged.
Robitussin cough drops from the cough experts.
This advanced technology helps to diagnose arthritis. But to effectively relieve the minor pain of arthritis, use this, Advil. Advil contains the #1 doctor-prescribed pain reliever in its class, in non-prescription strength. Advil works directly at the site of arthritis pain, and nothing's been proven to last longer. And Advil is gentler on your stomach than aspirin. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
People are creatures of habit. That explains why most people who use laxatives stick with their brand. You, however, might change if you knew which overnight laxative doctors say they'd take most. And that's Phillips Milk of Magnesia. In fact, for gentle overnight relief, they'd take Phillips more than any other brand. Now that's something you can feel very good about taking. After all, doctors do. Phillips Milk of Magnesia. Doctors know best.
Late word from Los Angeles. The judge has denied a motion by O.J. Simpson's lawyers to delay his murder trial and release Simpson on bail. Defense attorneys, as Bill Whitaker reported earlier in this broadcast, had argued that pre-trial publicity had made it impossible for Simpson to get a fair trial anytime soon. They proposed a year's delay. The judge tonight said no. Connie?
Finally tonight, there's no end to research showing just about anything you eat will make you sick or fat or both. That is, until now. Health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott has the good, the bad, and the tasty.
First, it was Chinese restaurants, then Italian and Mexican restaurants, even movie theater popcorn, all alleged to be bad for you. But at last, word of something scrumptious, delicious, tantalizing, food that, believe it or not, is actually healthy.
I just love it. It tastes good.
We're talking seafood. According to a new report out tonight by the Center for Science and the Public Interest, the same group that scared us away from those other favorites, your top choices include clams, crab, cod, haddock, sole, shrimp, and scallops.
I think it's great.
But hold on, seafood lovers, there's a catch. The report singled out Red Lobster, the largest chain of seafood restaurants, for frying its fish in artery-clogging fats.
One fried seafood platter that has French fries, coleslaw, a couple of buttered biscuits, and tartar sauce has not 1, but 2 days' worth of fat.
The report has left Red Lobster officials steamed.
In my opinion, and this is a personal opinion, sometimes nothing better than a good fried shrimp, and Red Lobster has some of the greatest.
So yet another food study. And even though this one is mostly good news, some diners have had their fill of studies.
And I'm just going to keep living and get fat and die and be happy.
Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
Well, you may want to consider that just the appetizer. Tonight on the subject of food, later on 48 Hours, we'll show you what else you can eat to lead a thinner and healthier life. Also, something important you should know about no-fat foods. We'll fill you in on 48 Hours. Fear of Fat, tonight at 10, 9 Central Time. I'll see you then.
And thank you for joining us tonight. For all of us at CBS News, good night.
Good night.
Experience CBS News.
This is CBS. Attention all stations concerned. There will be an update of the CBS Evening News.